Secret Space Program, SSP, experiencers, those who claim to have been, or still are, part of the SSP, continue to step forth in multitude. It seems the floodgates have opened as more and more SSP experiencers recover their memories and go public with their accounts. I think the terms SSP experiencers and SSP experiencer, rather than SSP asset or SSP agent, are good ones to describe these brave individuals who, in all cases, have undergone severe trauma and mind control as they were inducted into highly secretive and otherworldly military programs. The revelations of SSP experiencers such as Michael Rolfe, Randy Kramer, Corey Good, Tony Rodriguez, and Michael Gerloff has given us clues that there is a whole other world going on behind our backs, a phenomenon that ufologist Richard Dolan termed the breakaway civilization. Even if not all of these people are credible, they do corroborate each other on certain themes and details, such as the idea of a 20 and back program, bases on the Moon and Mars, age regression technology, teleportation technology, and cloning technology. According to the various SSP experiencers, there are various groups, organizations, and corporations involved in the SSP such as the ICC, Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, LOC, Lunar Operations Command, MDF, Mars Defense Force, Solar Warden, and Nachtwaffen. Here's a brief breakdown of what they each do, from what we can ascertain so far. ICC, Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate. According to Disclosure Wikia, the ICC is a conglomerate of corporations from all over the world that build aerospace technologies, basically all of the corporations that have come together, pooled their resources, and created a vast infrastructure in our solar system. According to Elena Kopolnik, the ICC has 11 bases on Mars which include manufacturing plants, labs, R&D, and weapons facilities. In this presentation, she states that the ICC space station platforms are based on original schematic designs of Wernher von Braun, Operation Paperclip Nazi scientist smuggled into the US at the end of WW2 to work for NASA. She reveals the companies involved in building infrastructure on ICC Mars bases, a mixture of US and German companies including TRW, General Dynamics, Lockheed, Douglas, Northrop Grumman, ExxonMobil, NASA JPL, Boeing, Astro und Feinwerk Technik Adler Schof GmbH, Bayer, and Allianz. LOC, Lunar Operations Command. Again, according to Disclosure Wikia, the LOC is a demilitarized zone on the Moon. It is an area where SSP personnel rendezvous before going further out into the solar system and beyond. It serves as a neutral zone for the various SSPs. It also acts as air traffic control for our solar system. LOC has 3 sites, LOC Alpha, LOC Bravo, and LOC Charlie. MDF, Mars Defense Force. The MDF is the main defense organization on Mars. Both Randy Kramer and Penny Bradley describe its main function to defend the Mars Colony Corporation from the indigenous Martian species, including a native reptoid and insectoid, raptor and mantid, ET species. Solar Warden. Solar Warden is a program run by the U.S. Navy, responsible for monitoring all incoming and outgoing traffic in the solar system. It patrols and defends our solar system. Some SSP experiencers have suggested that Solar Warden's real purpose is to protect the surface of the Earth to thwart ET disclosure. Solar Warden was created in 1970s and 80s, and is a mid-level SSP. The ICC has more advanced ships. Nachtwaffen, this a German term literally meaning night weapons but better translated as dark fleet. We know about this thanks to the revelations of Penny Bradley. Penny was transferred to the Nachtwaffen from the MDF as a punishment. SSP experiencers number 1, Kevin Trimmel. SSP experiencer Kevin Trimmel claims he was abducted by a white TR-3B triangular UFO and placed into the SSP, specifically into an operation called Solar Warden, which he states has been running since the 1970s. Kevin became an empathy, was loaned out to ICC on Mars and trained in remote viewing. Then in 2009, his blank slate memory wipe broke down and he started his recall. Kevin claims there are 2 factions of the NWO, a Rothschild communistic side, which runs Solar Warden, and a Rockefeller Nazi Fourth Reich fascistic side. Body voltage, reincarnation trap, and Saturn's rings. Kevin garnered some interesting ideas during his time in the SSP. He recalls how his superiors kept emphasizing how he must increase his body's voltage or electricity, measured in megahertz, to increase longevity. They also taught him that when you die, if you want to be able to navigate the afterlife and to have control over reincarnation process, you have to be able to bring your energy/megahertz high enough, otherwise you will be involuntarily reincarnated. I covered this theme in my article Soul Catching Net, Are We Recycled at Death to Remain in the Matrix? Kevin also states that the rings around Saturn are a technology, as has been exposed by Norman Bergrund and David Icke. SSP Experiencers Number 2, Ileana Star Traveler, Elena Kopolnik. Ileana Star Traveler, real name Elena Kopolnik, claims she was abducted by reptilian ETs during the ages of 2 and 10, that her DNA was changed and that she grew up on Mars. She worked for a company Monarch Solutions where they trained her psionic abilities, then worked for the ICC in a quantum time leap program. Monarch Solutions is a company that uses cloned bodies with consciousness transfers, i.e. cloned people with no intrinsic soul but who carry the soul or consciousness of another person. She was kept young, often leapt timelines and was finally released back into normal life in 2014. Elena has natural psychic abilities which she says the SSP harnessed to open space/wormhole portals, not time portals, by giving her drugs. SSP Experiencers Number 3, Penny Bradley. Penny Bradley is unique among all SSP experiencers in terms of longevity. She underwent all sorts of misadventure and abuse in the SSP but managed to survive and recall her 55 years in the program. Penny was first traumatized by being raped regularly at age 4, starved of affection, starved of food, made to feel cold and drowned. The amount of detail she reveals is quite extraordinary, such as detailed accounts of battles on Mars with the native reptoid and mantid ETS, 15 feet wide spiders, the Nachtwaffen, human soldiers being hooked into ships' computers, regeneration tanks, memory wiping technology, time travel, and the true atmosphere on Mars. Since she was mind-controlled, Penny has 4 alters of which she has partial memory. Penelope Valkirden, pilot in MDF, transferred to Nachtwaffen as a navigator as punishment for emotional meltdown. Lieutenant Penelope Bradley, in Kruger, a mercenary company, which competes with Monarch Solutions. Both companies use cloned bodies with consciousness transfers. The second Kruger alter, a cyborg alter with no emotion. Penny can't remember this alter's name, but she was surgically altered with a permanent chip behind her left ear, looks like a Bluetooth, which gives her a VR, virtual reality, screen. This screen has information like airspeed, wind direction, and gives a readout of every person who comes into her periphery. A sex slave alter on Mars who dyed her hair and who was part of Monarch Solutions. Death is not an option. Penny recounts that the SSP was brutal at times. Death was not an option to escape. Her masters would routinely kill people then put them in regeneration tanks to resuscitate them. The main product of the ICC. According to Penny, in the SSP, clones are considered soulless and are treated horribly. The main product the ICC is selling to ET groups, thousands of races, is cyborgs designed to be robotic super soldier slaves with a human consciousness. The reason for this is that it requires a human consciousness to operate the weapons, ships, external exoskeletons worn in battle, etc. The ICC is literally selling fellow humans beings in exchange for advanced alien technology. Prepare yourself psychologically. It's always important to stay open to new ideas. Yes, this stuff is far out, but so are so many truths of the worldwide conspiracy and NWO which were initially thought of as crazy and which were later proven. Obviously we need more concrete evidence to confirm the existence of the SSP, but ask yourself, why do all these SSP experiencers have such vivid detail and such a correlation of general themes, if they are all delusional hoaxers? Remember, one of the reasons that the SSP is so secret is because the torture, child kidnapping, rape, trauma, ritual abuse and mind control, that takes is so horrific. Their accounts of the German/Nazi influence on the SSP matches up with my research on how and why the Nazis really won the war. I strongly believe we all need to psychologically prepare ourselves for the very real possibility that these incredible secret programs, operations, and projects are going on behind our backs. It is a massive understatement to say that, if true, these programs will totally and fundamentally change our idea of who we are and what our place in the cosmos is.